Foreigners are...
Damn, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like the curveball has been thrown, man.
As far as the league that you commentate for, who would you say are your top 3 favorite players to watch in no particular order?
You know, there's a lot of good foreigners out here. I talk to a lot of foreigners. God doesn't give the hardest battle to his weakest warrior. If God gave you that battle, that means you're strong. That means you can do it.
Filipinos are...
Oh my God. Because they think, oh, men are strong. Men should not be crying. Men should not ask help. If I stay longer here in Cebu, I can actually say that I have a future.
What rust is to metal, holding pain is for men. So it eventually erodes you over time.
By the time that you come here, it's already war. Riding ship, riding airplane, falling in line, filling up forms regarding on the travel, on doing your job, on your medical, everything basically.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta get ready, man. You gotta understand men too before you judge men. You can't really rely on them so well that if you ran out of money, you can ask them like, hey, I need this. Right. You're the government, right? You're the mayor, something like that. Because at the end of the day, it's just you. The government can't really help you. And what sucks is they're taking all the taxes.
Welcome back to Unpopular Tea. I'm Taj, and today I'm sitting down with another guest who's going to give me even more information about the Philippines. As I usually say, I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm here just to give my opinions with some facts sprinkled in between. Without further ado, my man, what's your name and where you're from?
What is up, guys? My name is Neil Ramos. You can call me Neil for short. I am from Mindanao, actually. I'm staying here for work. I am a BPO employee. At the same time, I'm a basketball commentator. That's what I mentioned earlier.
A hustler.
A very, very enjoyable job as a basketball commentator. There's one time I really focused on commentating, really focused on basketball, but, reality check, finances and stuff. So
right.
Need to go back.
Right. So I've actually been sitting down with a lot of people who are from Mindanao, and they kind of just come here to Cebu.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's more opportunities here. So was that the case for you?
For sure, yeah. Actually, I work a lot of jobs back in Mindanao. I work in a hotel, work in a, a candyman, Ace Hardware. I work in a gas station, not really a gas station, but an office. I'm a clerk or something.
I see.
And it's not that bad though. It's not that bad. However, I can see more opportunity here. This is my 5th time actually coming back to Cebu just for work.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is my 5th time. So I can really confidently say, if you're looking for opportunity, go to the big cities. Just like in the U.S., right? Like if you're from one of the provinces in the U.S., let's just say you're from...
So actually states there in the U.S.
Yeah, states. So let's just say you're from, from the uptown, right? Then you wanted to, look for opportunity. You wanted to work, right? So you wanted to go California, Las Vegas,
right,
New York,
right.
A lot of big cities, right? So
where it's densely populated and stuff like that.
Yep.
Now, I noticed you said this is your 5th time coming back to Cebu. So I guess in those times that you left Cebu, what were your reasons?
Well, first off, the viewer's gonna hate it, but it's AWOL, absence without leave, and the reason why is because there are some times that you're going to be inside in a toxic, hostile management, so we need to get out of there. Comes back again, same reason, comes back again, pandemic, comes back again, and so it's the people sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not generally here in Cebu, but the people from work.
Right.
So,
yeah, man. Sometimes, if you're not valued in one location, all it takes is just kind of shifting your environment, and then boom, things open up. That's where the magic happens, right? And so I noticed you said that not only do you work in a BPO, you also do sports commentating for basketball.
Specifically basketball, yeah.
Right. So is that more of a hobby, or is that something that you do to pay the bills as well?
Well, it started with a hobby, actually. Before I became a basketball commentator, I became like a cameraman, like moving the motions.
Oh, that's dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I told myself that being a commentator is much doper. It's dope to be a commentator. Like, you get to say what you want to say. And then if you know Marv Albert, if you know,
I'm not familiar. No.
yeah, actually one of the legendary commentators in the NBA, Mike Breen, even the UFC commentators. You know,
Right.
I copy their style, I copy their terms and everything. So it did not just become a hobby; it became a passion. Commentating. I'm also actually a host of one of the podcasts here in Cebu. It's called Grand Slam Thursdays. Sad to say, I walked out temporarily because it doesn't fit the schedule. So yeah, going back, you know, it's very satisfying to call players that are very popular here in Cebu at the same time. You get to know them, you get to meet them. Every time you meet them on court, tap it up. You know, so yeah.
Now, for those viewers who might be interested in maybe checking out some of the games that you commentate for, like what is the league, like the name of the league, and where can they go to check out some of these games, whether online or in person?
Well, you can actually check out the league live via the Metro Cebu Basketball League page. You can also check other leagues like Professional Basketball League, BPO Rivals, some other leagues here in Cebu that I'm invited to commentate. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. The gyms are just, very, very accessible. City Sports, if you know City Sports Club across
I think I've heard of it.
State Hotel.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. The gyms are very accessible. There's a new one here, just across my crib. It's called Magnum Sports Complex. So yeah, I mean, come visit.
Okay. Yep. Excellent, man. Excellent. Now, with you being a sports commentator, would you prefer to do that full time? Like, do you have any plans of leaving your BPO and just solely doing sports commentating?
Well, the funny thing is, I actually did that before. Yeah. Like, I was working in a BPO at the same time I was working as a sports commentator. Schedule for the games are like 2 p.m. up until 5 p.m. My schedule working inside the office is 8 p.m. So there's like 2-3 hours of sleep, maybe one because you cannot sleep immediately, right? I did that, and what happened was I got sick. Like, my body over fatigued, and it's very hard because it's affecting my performance in the office. So I've decided that why not get this beat on? I mean, why not continue, or why not have this passion of mine be continued? You know what I mean? Like, have a commentating job full time, being a host. And then at first it turns out really, really pretty well. But again, as what I mentioned earlier, finances.
Right.
You're gonna lock in with your finances. You're gonna lock in with your stability, because I'm living here alone. My family, my whole family is in Mindanao.
Right.
So, yep.
Yeah, so you got to do what you got to do, man.
You got to do what you got to do.
Definitely understand that. Yeah. Now, with you having a passion for commentating for specifically basketball, I imagine you're a baller, right?
I play. I'm not as good as everyone else. However, I play. Because I just love the game.
That's what all good players say, man. Yeah. I'm not as good as everybody else, man. But I bet you if I show up to the gym, you're gonna be balling out.
Not really. But I haven't played for like a month now because of my shifts.
Work and all that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. As far as the league that you commentate for, who would you say are your top 3 favorite players to watch in no particular order?
Yeah, actually, they played last night. Yeah, the top 3 players played last night. I don't know if you for sure you don't know them, but I'm gonna name them. First one's Shane Menina. He's actually a very legitimate baller. Like, he started here in Cebu, try out for Manila, and then played for like 2-3 schools in Manila, then comes back here in Cebu to win 1 chip for UC. I believe he won 1 chip with UC, I'm not sure. But I only knew him because of MCBL. So that's number 1 for me. Okay. Number 2 for me is Tommy Spencer. Tommy Spencer Oximar. He's one of the most influential basketball trainers here in Cebu, to be honest. He owns a page named Daily Grind It. So that means he's teaching kids, not just kids, also pro players actually, or players that are, having a dream of going pro. He trains them, right? And third one, I mean, there's a lot of third one, but there's a lot of players actually that can be coming up third. I'm gonna say One of my favorite players is Jeff Kudis. Jeff Kudis won one chip rather. He won Finals MVP. He won a lot of Mythical 5, a lot of Mythical 5 selections. So probably, arguably, right now, the MCBL GOAT, the Metro Cebu Basketball League GOAT because of what he has achieved. So,
right.
Yeah, that's my top 3 right there.
Okay. Now, this league, man, is it a league where even foreigners can participate, or do players get paid to play in this league, or is it completely...
Yeah, actually, the season right now is called Season 12 Gold Edition, which means every team is allowed to have at least 3 imports. So those players will be paid to play, just like the NBA, right?
Okay.
They get paid to play. Yeah, so foreigners, we're still working on that actually. We're trying to contact some of the former college foreign exchange students to play in the up or next following seasons, because Coach Jack, shout out Coach Jack, is actually working on it because he used to play here for college. He used to play in Southwestern University and University of Cebu.
Right.
Oh no, University of San Carlos, right? That's in Talamban, if you know. And then there's he faced against tough foreign exchange students who can really ball, dunking, those type of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood, man. Well, hopefully you guys figure out, how to get more foreigners involved into the league.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a lot of foreigners overseas that are looking for opportunities to still be active, even if they don't go pro. So hopefully you guys figure that out, man. And, this video helps them, see that there's other opportunities.
Yeah.
Right?
If you wanna play in the MCBL, just wait for further announcements, because we're gonna definitely have that season that we're gonna allow foreigners to play in the MCBL.
Nice, man. Nice. Now, I want to take a bit of a shift in the conversation, man. So I first want to preface by saying I haven't really sat down with too many Filipino men, man. So I definitely want to explore, your frame of mind when it comes to certain things about like foreigners coming here. So I want to start by asking you, man, or first stating that I know a lot of foreign guys, they come here solely for the purpose of meeting young Filipinas. And I wanted to know, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Actually, I don't care if you hear this though, but I have a like ex-friend, like we hang out, we drink sometimes, we eat sometimes. He's a spender. He spends a lot of drinks and food and whatever it is. I'm not gonna be hypocrite to say that all foreigners are like that, because I know a lot of foreigners that are actually pretty good, actually pretty respectful regarding Filipino women. But this specific guy, he's just an asshole, bro.
Yes,
like he treats not just Filipino women, he treats disabled person. He sees a disabled person right there that walking around, like he low-key laughs about it and everything.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I don't really know what's in his mind. Maybe it's the alcohol, because he's an alcoholic. Right now he's in Arizona. He goes back to Arizona, having his rehab, and I'm not sure about that. But there's a lot of good foreigners out here. I talk to a lot of foreigners, especially I'm working in a BPO. Sometimes I talk to clients, not really like talk like friendly talk, but I talk to clients regarding the performances, the team, and something like that. So I will not generalize it. I will not say that all of the foreigners comes here just to have, or just to take Filipino girls, right? So there's a lot of good people. There's a lot of good people, good purpose as well. Business, of course, marrying a decent Filipina women, taking care of them, having kids. So
yeah, man. Well, good. It's good that you don't generalize, because there are some people out there that do, and unfortunately they look at a small group of people and then they have like a stigma on the entire I guess ethnic group or culture, what have you, right? So I want to ask you, man, are you currently in a relationship? Are you dating?
No, actually, no. Yeah.
Do you have any reservations about getting in a relationship, or what's going on with that?
Well, honestly, my past relationship was 2 years ago. Yeah, that was 2 years ago, and I don't really remember when was the last time I had a serious relationship after that, right? So, but right now, regarding on your question, maybe if I'm not gonna come clean and say no. I'm gonna focus on myself, something like that. It's given. You need to focus on yourself,
Absolutely.
but maybe just a little bit of fling, dating, just like that. But if you talk about committed relationship,
Yeah.
maybe not now. Yeah, maybe not now. I need to be financially stable first.
Right.
I need to work on myself. Not in terms of physical, but also in terms of emotional and spiritual. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna whatever comes. So just going to focus on myself first. Job, of course, I have a decent job right now. Commentating, my passion, my hobby. I have friends. It's very interesting because I was invited one of the podcasts outside the actual podcast we hosts. So yeah.
Nice, man. Sounds like you're doing pretty well for yourself here, man. You just living your best life.
Well,
working your job.
honestly, yeah. There are some ups and downs. To be honest,
I mean, yeah, that's a given.
Yeah,
though,
that's a given. I mean, God doesn't give you the hardest, or God doesn't give the hardest battle to His weakest warrior. If God gave you that battle, that means you're strong. That means you can do it. You know what I mean? So, I overcame it. There are some times I was in debt, so my salary doesn't really cover it. But again, I conquered it, man. It's always helped.
Right. And Neil, do you see yourself staying in Cebu? Maybe not for the rest of your life, but for the foreseeable future, or is there anywhere else you would like to live?
Of course, man. I have changed the way I think because, again, as what I mentioned earlier, this is my fifth time, right?
Yeah.
So first 6 months, boom, go home. Comes back, boom, 7 months, go home again. Like I actually changed that mindset that if I stay longer here in Cebu, I can actually say that I have a future. Maybe I'll get married here. I have kids here. I get my own car. I get my own, let's just say, small business or something. But yeah, I can definitely see myself in the future for a long time here in Cebu because I've been independent for almost 4 years now, and I'm 32, so I can stand up on my own legs.
Yeah. Definitely important, man. Especially being a man with the stigma around men these days.
Yep.
Sometimes people make it seem like men can't vent, men can't pretty much be emotional.
Yeah.
Right? And you just have to thug it out or pull yourself up by the bootstraps and just get things done.
Yep.
And sometimes that can take a toll on you mentally, right, man?
Yep.
But I'm glad to hear that you've been doing well.
Because honestly, we need to accept it that men in society, us, right? Once we get tired, once we cry, once we share, once we try to get out of our anger, we're weak. That's what people see it when we do all those things.
Right.
Because they think, oh, men are strong.
Mm-hmm.
Men should not be crying. Men should not ask help because
That's the expectation.
they are, you're strong. But look at Samson.
Yeah.
He's strong.
You're talking about Samson from the Bible?
Yep.
With the locks.
Yep.
Yeah.
The locks. He's strong. But look, when he meet the perfect person, Delilah, right?
That's true.
He's allowed to cry. He's allowed to, he's allowed to be emotional, because, it's out of the norm if you say men can't be weak, right? Men are also weak.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
Even though you're big, even though you're strong, he's big, but sometimes he shares to me regarding on his what his future going to be here in Cebu, future with his relationship, with his money, with his work. So I mean, you gotta understand, man, too, before you judge, man.
No, absolutely, man. I recently heard a saying. It says that rust is to metal what holding pain is to men. I think I said that right. So what rust is to metal, holding pain is for men. So it eventually erodes you over time.
Yep.
And I think we all need someone that we can vent to or share with, man, that's not going to judge us. That's just going to be there solely for the purpose of listening, right? And at the end of the day, if you're talking to another real man or another real woman, they've had the ups and downs just like you have, man. And those are the people that I hope to find here in Cebu.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, man, so with your experience, leaving and coming back, do you feel like it's easy to make connections here? Like, what are the people like here in Cebu compared to Mindanao?
Well, it's not easy. You're asking about connections, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's actually not easy because for you to have connections here in Cebu, you need to be in Cebu first before you can actually have connections, right? Because back in Mindanao, I mean, I know a lot of people in Mindanao. My sister's friend, my mom's friend. I mean, they can pretty much hook me up with a job there. But here in Cebu, I mean, you gotta stand on your own feet, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get your documents ready. You gotta get your resume ready because you gotta get yourself ready because it's by the time that you got here, by the time that you come here, it's already war. Riding ship, riding airplane, falling in line, filling up forms regarding on the travel, on doing your job, on your medical, and everything basically.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta get ready, man.
So as far as connections, you would say that it's difficult to meet people and make connections here because you mostly have to survive. Am I understanding that right?
Yep, that is right. Because before I got this commentating gig, I actually don't know anything about commentating. I mean, I play basketball. I know what commentators are. But if I'm the one who's
like the art of it,
like going to speak to it, like it's really hard because there are some terms that I don't know. I need to change my voice. Like there was some comment in one MCBL game. It was also the semifinals. It was a comment where someone says, I was like, my voice is like a squeezed cat. Like, like the sound of a squeezed cat, right? Like, something like that, right? Right? Yeah, because I don't know how to modulate my voice. This comes naturally out of me, right?
Man,
and the game is very exciting, so you need to freaking shout. Right? I mean, you don't want to shout, but you can shout because the game is already into you, right? So, yeah, I was a squeezed cat, man. That's so funny. And then I have a mentor. He's one of my friends here in Cebu as well. His name's Jaff. Jaff is the one who told me that do not do this. What you can do if you cannot modulate your voice, at least, comprehension, reading, terms, grammar, and everything. Well, sometimes there are some slip-ups.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure.
Yes, there are some slip-ups. But before, my mindset was, people are not going to listen to the commentator alone. They're going to watch the game itself. Right? So your slip-ups will be covered by the games. But to yourself, even though people do not recognize it, then you still need to oh, this is my slip up right here. Like the grammar, there's a wrong grammar right here, so I need to change it. So, yeah, something like that.
Okay. And the second part of the question, man, so how would you compare people here in Cebu to people back home in Mindanao?
Well, the people back in Mindanao are very laid back, very low key, not so much traffic. I mean, but it is arising. It's very established right now. There's already an SM right there 2 years ago. There is a lot of establishments, Starbucks. I believe Krispy Kreme is already there too. Before there was no SM, there was no Starbucks, there was no Krispy Kreme. However, when it comes to the cost of living, when it comes to the people, Cebu's fast-paced. They're fast-paced. Even today, Sunday, somebody's working.
Yeah.
In that building, that building, that building, somebody's working. But in Sundays back in Mindanao, it's relaxed day. You know, go to church.
Yeah.
Go to church. Sometimes after going to church, or you know, before going to church, wake up early, run.
Right.
You know, a few kilometers. Or after going to church, if there's an event, go to the beach. You know, we have some beaches there that are just near. You know, 1 hour drive. But in my case, I'm not a Catholic, so I don't go to church on Sundays. We go on Saturdays. So
are you a Seventh-day Adventist?
No, we are a born again Christian, Church of God, World Mission Society.
Understood.
Yep.
So share a little bit about your faith if you want to. Just, you know, the Cliff Notes, man. So like, what type of Christianity is that exactly?
Yeah, actually, it's a born. We are born again, right? But we believe that there's no one God, but there's two gods, like God the Father and God the Mother. Like, because in the Bible they say Jerusalem is a place where Jesus was born to have his or to, you know, set up his holy banquet and those kind of stuff. But in our belief, Jerusalem is actually a woman. He's a woman because how do I explain this? It's really hard, man, because I haven't visited our church in the past few years now since I've been here in Cebu.
Understood.
But you know, it's really hard for me to explain that. I need to like restudy again.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, about that. So,
I was just
but yeah, just a little bit of a brief background about that. We don't believe in Christmas. We don't believe in fiestas. If you know fiestas, we don't believe in you know, the Saint Patrick's, the
any holidays,
any common holiday that we know about when we were kids. No, we don't believe that. We only believe the Passover. You know, the 7 feasts, tabernacles, Feast of Trumpets. Forgot the rest, so I'm sorry.
no worries, man.
Yep. And we don't believe in saints. Yeah, we don't believe in saints. Like, you know, Saint Paul,
Yeah.
Saint Francis. I mean, you can see them in the Bible, but based on our God's teaching, like, you don't pray to them, right? You don't pray to them. You pray directly to God, right?
Yeah.
Because they are just instruments,
Right. Understood, man. When you get more information, when you restudy, man, definitely share that with me. I will.
I will.
I'd like to learn more about that.
I will. Yep.
Appreciate that, man. And so I want to ask you, when it comes to your experience with sports commentating, what are some of name the top 3 biggest life lessons you've learned from being a sports commentator?
Well, first you gotta be tough, because even though you're not playing, you're just commentating the game. You're being hype. You're enjoying the game. However, it still gives you chills. As what I mentioned earlier, we talked off cam, right? That there was, excuse me, there was almost a fighting happened. There was about to fight. I was about to break out, right? But it was stopped by players, the referees, and those type of people. So you gotta be tough, man. You gotta get ready, because sometimes if you remember back in 2004, Detroit Pistons versus Indiana Pacers, the Malice and the Palace. There was just 3 commentators out there. And there's a fight broke down between Ron Artest and Ben Wallace, punching everybody, even the fans. Ron Artest going up just to punch a fan, and the real reason was he was being thrown by a water bottle.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he was being thrown by a water bottle. And then the moment he like get up to that stand, I mean, the commentator was like this, like, oh my God, am I gonna die or something? So yeah, you gotta get ready. But so far in my experience, I haven't witnessed, or I haven't seen, or I haven't experienced those type of situation.
Right.
You know.
Well, good, man.
Yep. Second one, you're gonna love what you do. You know, you're gonna love what you do, because if you're just commentating there like a flat, flat nose surface, and you're gonna definitely lose the thinking of of your passion. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna commentate like very sloppy, commentate like very like your voice doesn't really excites people when they watch something like that. Same goes with my BPO work. You know what I mean? So if you are jolly, if you are, talking to the customer the right way, smile, even though they can't see you, same goes with commentating.
Right.
Yep. And the third would be, of course, listen. Active listening.
Oh man,
Yep.
it's such an underrated skill.
Active listening, man, because by actively listening, you can, it's not because when you say active listening, it's just that you're listening alone. Like you're gonna gather thoughts. You're going to have like a observation. Even though you're not looking directly to them, you can hear what they're saying. You're gonna observe what they're doing, something like that.
Yeah.
So it also applies to my BPO life.
Yeah.
Active listening.
Yeah. Have to, man. Have to. It'll help strengthen relationships when you actively listen, man.
Correct.
'Cause it's not just listening for the sake of listening. You're listening with the intent of understanding.
Listen to understand. Yeah.
Right. Boom. And okay, so now I'm gonna make it a little bit more fun. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
All right.
You're gonna fill in the blank.
Yep.
All right. So the first one is, foreigners are.
Damn, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like the curveball has been thrown, man. So foreigners are, let's see. Well, based on my experience, foreigners are friendly.
Okay. Here's the next one. Filipinos are.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Adventurous.
Adventurous.
Yep.
Okay.
I could say they're adventurous. Not just in terms of, just walking or just going outside the city, going to the south, going to the north. I say adventurous because Filipinos wants to try different things.
Right.
Yep. So in a good way.
I do notice that, man. Like a lot of the people here seem like they're pretty well traveled across the Philippines, right? And then let's take the United States, for example. Yeah, you have people that come from specific areas that do a lot of traveling, but my hometown, not too many people have really been outside the town.
Yeah.
Or even when I used to live in South Carolina, people don't really travel outside the state too much, man. That's all they know. Yep. So it's cool to see that people are willing to, have a lust to see different things, experience different things, man.
Yeah.
That makes probably why Filipinos are so open to foreigners, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But man, Neil, it's been great talking with you. I mean, I don't have anything else for you except before we go, what advice would you like to share with anyone watching at home?
Well, first of all, honestly, I mentioned it earlier. I'm trying to work on myself, right? So that's the first advice that I wanted to give all of not just Filipino people, but also for the the foreigners that are having or that are struggling. They're not struggling with money. Some of them are not struggling with money. They are struggling with finding the right people, the right person, the right Filipino person, the right Filipino girl, woman, to be exact. So yeah, just work on yourself. A second advice that I can tell them is just don't listen to others. Not really don't listen to your mom or anything, but don't listen to the negative the negative comment of others, because it will just ruin your mental state, right? It will just ruin your it will just ruin your peace, I must say, right? So yeah. And the third advice, always listen to your mom. Always listen to your mom. Yep, always listen to your mom. Mom always gives the right advice. Always there for you whenever you need them. Eat your veggies. Save your money. Well, in my case right now, I do not believe in saving. I do believe in working hard. Right. So yeah. And that's called tipid. If you know tipid, that means that
One more time.
tipid. It's tipid. Yep, it's tipid, which means that you're saving your money. Like I'm just gonna set one example.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to buy a new iPhone, right? You wanted to buy a new iPhone. So I'm not saying that you're gonna buy that iPhone and then you're not gonna eat, right? Because needs is already it's supposed to be automatic. Once you cover all your needs, then that's the time that you're gonna cover all your wants. Right. So if you buy that iPhone and then you want to have more money after you buy that iPhone, then you need to work hard. Right? Because sometimes saving doesn't really help. Saving doesn't really help. Because in a Filipino belief that if you save, if you put your money inside a piggy bank and it's almost like half or full, then there's gonna be some things that will happen, and that piggy bank, that piggy bank, you're gonna use it as your payment. Maybe, knock on wood, accidents. If something will happen, like a good thing, maybe your wife or your girlfriend goes pregnant, you're gonna use that money, something like that. Yeah.
Well, solid, man. I appreciate that. And actually, as we were sitting here talking in this latter portion of the video, I thought of something else that I want to ask you, man. So it's come to my attention, the 4 trillion peso march that happened up in Manila on, when was it? September 21st, right? And the whole controversy up there is with the floods and things not properly.
Oh yeah, the flood control.
Right.
Projects.
Right. And I was wondering, man, like what are your thoughts on that whole ordeal?
Ah man, honestly, man, I really can't, answer those type of questions because I'm not really into politics. I'm not really into the state, or I'm not really into the nation's budget or everything, because I believe what my mom said, despite we have a government, right? We have a government, we have councilors, we have mayors. It's still you who's, it's still you. It's what do you call this? Like, you can't really rely on them so well that if you ran out of money, you can ask them like, hey, I need this. Right. You're the government, right? You're the mayor, something like that. You're the, whatever government employee you are, not really employee, but government member you are, right? So you need to, this goes back to what I said. You need to work on yourself. You need to, appreciate what you have, because at the end of the day, it's just you. The government can't really help you. And what sucks is they're taking all the taxes. They taking all the taxes. But I'm not really gonna deep dive into that. For me, I don't have the right actually to talk about politics because I don't know anything about politics. So that's my take, though. You're just gonna if you're working a BPO, enjoy. Enjoy your BPO life. If you're working in a fast food chain, enjoy. You have money, then if you want to save it, save it. If you want to spend it and work on it, and the next salary, go ahead. Because at the end of the day, it's you. It's just you.
I have another curveball for you, man. So let's say, for example, and I understand you don't really dive too deep into politics, but let's say the same things that are happening up in Manila, if they were to take place right here in Cebu, so it impacting your everyday life, how would you feel about it then?
Man, it will be a hassle, not just for me, but for all the Cebuanos. It will be a hassle because we all know there are some parts of Cebu that are quickly flooded, right?
I didn't know that.
Quickly flooded. There are some parts of Cebu that are quickly flooded, and it is a hassle if you are a Cebuano, because some of the people, some of the employees that are working here in IT Park, in Ayala, SM, are coming from afar, like Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu, from the south, Talisay, Minglanilla, and they're traveling, right? If they don't have like an actual personal transportation vehicle, motorcycle, car, and everything, 4 wheels, it's really a hassle, bro. Like if you go into the office, you need to change before you go in. You're soaking wet in air. I mean, you're soaking wet in water. You're soaking wet because of that flood that is happening. I mean, that's oh my god, that's a hassle, bro. It's really a hassle.
Yeah, I imagine it would be, man. It's already kind of a hassle, you know, as it is to get around places, at least for me, you know, and what I'm used to. So I can only imagine if the streets were flooded and, you know, everyone's trying to get around in that type of way. But I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, man. Neil, again, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you carving out the time to sit down with me, giving me some more knowledge about not only just Cebu and the Philippines, but just what it's like being a sports commentator. So thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me as well. And I've been really wanting to do to do a podcast, to do a show before, but there was no invite until Troy and Kat introduces, or says that there was a friend of Kat's that's doing a podcast. So, and when I saw the video, I was like, oh, maybe this is it. So I messaged Troy, hey, can you hook me up with a guesting?
Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for reaching out for him to do that. And man, I definitely would like to give your league a lot more shine, man. So if you know any players that might be interested in coming on the show, man, I'd love to interview them as well.
Yeah, I will try to talk to not just the players, but also also my co-hosts.
Okay. Sure.
Chan, Coach Jax and Japheth. I will try to have them on board, if they're not busy, because Christian is an aspiring attorney. He just finished the bar exam, so he just needs to get a rest a little bit, Jaff is a businessman. He has a wife, so he's busy as well. Coach Jax busy with all the leagues he handles, so but I'm gonna make sure that one day that all of this, I'm gonna get them on board.
That'd be cool, man. I'd love to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, bro.
All right.
And I hope your game goes well later today.
Yeah. And shout out, by the way, to the GST boys. Once again, the names I mentioned.
GST boys.
Yep. Jaff, Jax, and Coach Jax and Christian. Shout out to you guys.